2 days later, Uncle Chima called a family meeting. He sat at the head of my father's table, a lawyer beside him, papers on the table. He was the eldest surviving male. The assets fell under family estate. They needed to discuss distribution. I looked at the lawyer. I looked at Chima, the man who had borrowed from Papa 3 times I knew of, never returned a kobo, who used to say every Christmas that Papa was a burden, that Papa had nothing to contribute. Now he sat at the head of Papa's table with a lawyer. I stood up. We will speak again when we have read the will. He pushed forward in his seat. What will? We will let you know, I said. I walked out. Outside, my hands were open at my sides. I kept them open. We had not yet opened the yellow envelope. We did not know if there was a will. We opened the envelope that evening. All 5, Mama too. Ada used a small knife. She cut along the fold, careful. 3 things inside. A deactivated bank card, account number on the back in Papa's hand. A single page, names, dates, amounts, pencil, and a folded letter. We went to the list first. 22 names, dates back to 1991, amounts beside each one. We knew every name on that list. Family, neighbors, men from the market. Uncle Chima, 3 entries, 3 dates, 3 amounts. No repayment column because there had been no repayments. Ada picked up her phone. Neka began calculating. Ugo was already writing names on a notepad. We thought we had found the whole story. We had found 1 page of it. The folded letter was still on the bed between us. Mama picked it up. She looked at the handwriting. Then she looked at me. This is not his hand. Someone else wrote this for him. Read the date. 15 years ago. I unfolded it. I read it. I set it down on the bed. I did not speak. The letter was not a will. Papa had asked a church secretary to write it for him. The letterhead was there. He had told the man what to say, word by word, sentence by sentence. In it, Papa said, I have asked my children and my relatives to read my letters for 30 years. I did this because I could not read, but I also did this because in 1987, a man showed me something. He said, listen carefully to how someone reads for you. You will know everything about their character. A person who reads fully, accurately, without taking anything, that person can be trusted. A person who summarizes or skips or changes the numbers, that person will do the same with your money, your land, your name. I have been reading my children for 30 years. I kept a record. Ada looked up from the letter. He was reading us. I thought about every letter I had ever read to him, every bank statement, every market letter, every time I sat across from him and opened an envelope. Did I read it fully? Did I skip? Did I change a number? I sat on the floor of his room, not the chair, the floor. I thought about the school, the meeting program. He forgot his pen, I had said. Papa had put his hand on my shoulder. Let us go now. He had gone home. He had put me in his record. Not to punish, to know. 3 days later, Chima filed papers. He claimed verbal promises, a witness from the market. His lawyer said Papa had agreed to share the estate with his brothers. He did not know about the letter. He did not know about the list. He did not know his own name appeared on it 3 times. Without a registered will, our lawyer said, we were exposed. The letter showed intent. It may not be enough. We went back into the room. Every drawer, every pocket, every fold. Ada found it. The breast pocket of his burial suit, the suit we had already pressed and set aside. A document, folded once, registered stamp, dated 4 years ago. A will. 2 pages. Every asset listed, every beneficiary named. Not Chima, not any man on the list, his wife, his 5 children. And 1 line at the bottom. I will come back to that line. First, Chima. The lawyers submitted the will. Chima's claim, 6 weeks. The witness recanted. When the market men heard the list existed, they came. 12 of 22. 3 months. Some with interest, some with their children, some in silence. The accounts transferred, the property registered. The stall, ours. Mama sat in his chair every evening. The same wrapper, 1 week. We thought she was processing it. She was waiting. Waiting for us to read the last line of the will. We had been so fixed on Chima, we had skipped it. Ada found it first. She called me to the room, handed me the will, pointed. Read the last line. The last line of Papa's will said, I ask my children to read this document aloud, together, the way they read my letters to me, so that they know I heard every word they ever read. I heard every word they chose not to read. I know which of them was honest. The money knows too. I went back to Thursday in my mind. The side room, the green file, the balance. He always brought someone with him to read the statements. By the time I was 12, I had read him 100 letters. He would listen, nod, fold the envelope, chest pocket. He was not asking because he couldn't. He already had the statement in his chest pocket. He knew every figure before I opened my mouth. He was listening to whether I would tell the truth when I thought I held the power. I stood in his empty room, his chair, his 3 shirts, the sandals by the door. I understood, for the first time in my life, that my father had been the most educated man I had ever known. We went back to complete the transfer. I carried the yellow envelope. I carried it the way you carry something you should have handled differently a long time ago. The same side room, the same account manager. She had the chairs arranged. I placed the envelope on the table between us. I thought about Papa in a room like this. Every quarter, 37 years, same sandals, same shirt, a statement he already knew, and a person beside him he was still learning. My father walked into rooms like this one for 37 years, and not once did the person across the table understand what they were looking at. The transfer took 40 minutes. At the end, she folded her hands on the table. I want to tell you something. She had met Papa once, 12 years ago, a junior officer then. He came in alone that day, unusual. He sat across from her with a statement. Read this to me. She read it. Every line, every figure, nothing skipped. When she finished, he reached into his chest pocket. He placed another copy of the same statement on the table, set it between them without a word. This is what the statement says. Identical. Every figure, not one number different. He looked at her for a long time. You are honest. I will remember. She paused. I didn't understand what he meant that day. She looked at all of us sitting across from her. I understand now. Ada had a hand over her mouth. Ugo looked at the ceiling. Mama smiled. Just smiled. I opened the yellow envelope. I read the letter, the way Papa had taught us, without taking anything. I reached the last sentence. He knew. He always knew. I folded the letter. I placed it back in the yellow envelope. I put it in my chest pocket. I want you to hear this. We spent our whole lives reading for a man who could not read. We thought the gift was going one direction. We were the ones being read. Papa Ize had no certificate, no title, no office. He had a thumbprint and a chest pocket and 37 years of paying attention. He built a system in a world that called him ignorant to find truth. And the system worked for 37 years without one failure. He signed with his thumbprint until the day he died, and the account held more than most men with 3 degrees will ever see. We thought we were reading for Papa. Papa was reading us, and we passed. Some of us just barely. The yellow envelope is still in my chest pocket. I carry it to every meeting that matters. Every time I open it, I try to read the way he taught us, fully, accurately, without taking anything. If this story found you at the right moment, share it with one person who needs to hear it today. Drop a name in the comments. Someone in your life who knew far more than they ever showed. Tell us what they taught you, only after they were gone. Subscribe to Tales of Africa Studio. Find us on YouTube at Tales of Africa Studio. Every day, another story the world forgot to honor. The next story is already waiting. You will not be ready for it.